Psalm 16:5, the Bible says, "The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot, the lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. I will bless the Lord who hath given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons." Here we come into a very familiar passage, but David is saying that he has a goodly heritage. Now, there are a few things we could say about that goodly heritage, but let's look at what David says. We often praise the surrender and the character of a David, but I must say that we cannot truly tell the tale of David without mentioning his family. David tells of the goodly heritage that he had been given. When you study out his heritage, boy, you look at a Rahab and a Salmon. You look at his great granddaddy Boaz, the kinsman redeemer for Ruth. You see, David was indeed a great man, but he had been given a great example, many great examples, and he understood that. He understood he would not be the man he was were it not for the examples he'd been given. Now, I want to say here that everybody will make their own decisions in life, but we have an opportunity, you and I, to influence those decisions in the lives of those that we lead and those that we love. I believe personally that the best gift you can give to somebody is not a monetary present. It is a personal relationship with Christ. Do you understand? And by the way, David understood the best gift you can give to your family and your loved ones is your example of a Christian. I remember growing up, and as I would stay with my grandparents through the summer, many weeks, I'd get up and I would see my grandfather without any fanfare. He would be sitting there at his kitchen island with his Bible open. Every morning he sat there from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. reading his Bible and marking his Bible. And as you look at his Bible, all of the notes that he took, I could tell you many times where I came into a room and I heard my mother praying and begging God for his wisdom and his leading in our family. And I felt as though I'd stepped into the Holy of Holies. I understood that my mother had a mighty and a meaningful relationship with Christ. I thank God for the goodly heritage of a grandfather that showed me the importance of the Bible. I thank God for the goodly heritage of a mother that showed me the importance of a personal relationship with Christ. Do you understand today that more valuable than any gift or inheritance that you could give to those you love is the example of a real relationship with Christ? There are those that say, well, I want to give my children a good education. I want them to excel academically. There are people that say, I want to give my kids a great balance in their life, and I want them to advance in sports and in academia. And by the way, there are parents that give hundreds and even thousands of dollars and hours upon hours of their time so that their children can excel in a sport. There are parents that they say, well, I want to give my children, I want to give those that I love the things that I missed out on. There are those that want to give the people in their life the very nicest things that they have, the best clothes, the best electronics, the best opportunities. You understand, all of those things pale in comparison to the example of a real relationship with Christ. I'm all for giving your children an education, but more important than an education is them seeing you live for God. I'm all for them doing well in sports and having that athletic balance. But more important than anything a wrestling team or a football team or a baseball team can teach them is a real relationship with Christ. Patrick Henry, that great founding father of Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death fame, when he was near to death, he told his family, "My most cherished possession, I wish I could leave you, is my faith in Jesus Christ. For with him and nothing else, you can be happy. But without him and with all else, you will never be happy. This is all the inheritance I give to you, my dear family, Jesus Christ, which is able to make them rich indeed." You see, with all of the wealth, with all of the knowledge, with all of his accolades that he could have given to his family, he could have bestowed upon his family, he understood that the greatest gift he could give to his loved ones was a relationship with Christ. Let me encourage you not to fall into the trap of giving cheap gifts. Give your children and your family and your loved ones the best gift they could receive from you, the example of a life lived in close relation to Christ. I wonder today, Would David have been the man he was if you were his example of what a Christian's supposed to be? Would David have been the servant of God that he was had you been his example of surrender to God? Would David have been the giant slayer that he was if you were his example of faithfulness and duty and fervor for God? Let us focus less on the gifts that perish, and let us give the best gift in our life, an example of faithfulness and close relation to God. We love you, folks. We'll see you tonight at 7.